All right, we back. What's good, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Alex here with another video, and I got the dopest person when it comes to basketball talk today. I got my dog Uche, straight out the Bay, coming to us live from I almost said San Jose, but you're in Oakland right now. But I got my dog Uche here. What's good, bro? How you feeling? How you doing, bro?
Hey, how we doing? What's good, folks? Caveman extraordinary. Got y'all. But nah, we doing good, man. We're in uncertain times, but we're making the most of it. So
That's what's up.
hey, gotta do what you gotta do.
Talk to me, my boy. Tell the audience who doesn't know you a little bit about you. How long you've been watching basketball? Where does that passion come from? Give us a little insight about yourself.
Yeah, so up y'all, my name's Uche Igwe. Um 27, been watching hoop for as long as I can remember. Whether that was just watching on the TV, playing on those little what do they call those things? Fisher Price hoops with the small ass with the small ass basketball. I
Yeah.
remember seeing baby videos of me doing that. I'm like, damn. And then
Yeah.
obviously, like, once I really started watching the NBA, it was actually I would like I've lived in Sacramento for a majority of my life. Um, but it wasn't until I saw AI hoop. I didn't even have like an NBA team back then. I just saw him and I was like, this bro just looks different from everybody else. And he hooping? I was just like, yeah, that's my favorite NBA player right then and there. And then like as I started getting more into like divisions and like conferences, I was like, oh, the Kings are nice. This was back in like elementary school days, 01, 02,
Mhm.
J or even further back with the J Will days. Like that's when I really just fell in love with hoop, fell in love with the squad, Sacktown.
And
Um,
yeah, bro. And you was doomed ever from that start, bro. As soon as you became a Kings fan, it was a wrap.
hey man, I in hindsight, as a NBA fan, I took that for granted. I thought playoffs was just a regular thing,
Yeah.
regular thing. I didn't think it was going to take us. It's been damn near. I mean, it's past a decade now.
This is year
Like
14.
think, like bro, think about it. The Kings had for a majority. What I say, majority of our lifetime.
Bro, yes, our kids would be a freshman in high school if we had them back in '06. That's how long it's been since the Kings went to the playoffs. Think about that for a minute.
Dog,
There's kids who will legit grow up Kings fans who have never seen the team in the playoffs, bro.
exact, bro. And like I've been seeing like articles and they're kind of just talking about just commenting on how like the front office has been running the team and like trying to like we're kind of like shooting ourselves in the foot when it comes to building our brand, building a winning product on the court. Off the court, we go stupid off the court. We've been doing great in our humanitarian work. Shout outs to Vivek on that. But when it comes to the on court product, we we it seems like we like to hire people based more on friendships than necessarily credentials, track record. And I feel like that's what's resulted in like you can't be a team that's been in the lottery how many times in a row and y'all still haven't even cracked the eighth seed. Something's wrong there.
It's sad, bro. And it's literally every time y'all just happen to get close, you want to fire the coach. Every time, bro.
Every time. Every time. And I feel like it's what like I'm kind of jumping to like I don't know if you caught up with all the Jordan documentaries,
Yeah.
but there's that one theme they keep saying is like, is it about the players or is it the organization?
Yep.
It's like, dog, it's the players. I mean, I understand the organization, but at the same time, it's like organization has to pick the right players, has to pick the right leader, right coach to lead them. And I'll tell you straight up right now, um, when it comes to the Kings, the Kings don't need a player coach. And they need someone who's going to coach them. They need someone who's going to coach them. We ain't that lit to be having a players coach right now.
Bro, not at all. And that's the problem is we had one in Mike Malone, bro. The only dude that got along with our best player this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And we let him go. And that squad was hooping, bro. Like we had Rudy, we had Darren Collison. Like we had a nice little like we wasn't, don't get me wrong, we wasn't like super good or anything, but we wasn't trash. We was competing every single day.
Oh,
And you
yeah.
tell me, like, it's like, dang, y'all was really just plotting on this man's downfall. Like, y'all really just, oh, your best player got hurt. Let's go ahead and fire you. Like, I don't get it, bro.
It don't make sense. And Boogie was playing his best ball that year. He wasn't even shooting threes yet, but I honestly think as that those first couple 6-10 games before he got the meningitis, I was like, this was just playing bully ball and getting what he wants.
Bro,
This is the best big man, best center in the league.
by far, dude. And then it's like you see Mike Malone literally go to Denver, build Denver back up again. Now they're a perennial contender every
5 years, bro. They gave him 5 years. Like, that's another thing I've noticed, and maybe it's just the culture we live in. We want success now. We want it right away. Um, but if you have a coach you believe in their vision. Mike Malone's been given every single chance that he deserves. 5 years, and this is the result. You see the fruits of his labor. I think the Kings were kind of who will never really know what happened. We probably will never know what will happen. But in my opinion, I think egos in the front office got too big, thought they had more pull than they had with the players, and was like, oh, we can just plug and play this other coach in there.
thing, bro. That's literally what they always do. We just did it last year. Like we literally repeat the cycle. We get that close to being in the 8th spot. First of all, you know how I feel about Harrison Barnes. That's a conversation for another day.
Yeah,
But
let's go.
that's go forever. But here's the thing: we're that close to getting the 8th spot. Why not run it back? I understand that Jaeger didn't really get along with the front office. I get that. And I understand you guys had your eyes on Luke Walton for a while. But I just want to know, what was it that they saw in Luke Walton that really stood out from them from Dave Jaeger, other than him being a yes man? That's the only thing I could think of, bro.
That might be it, bro. That might be it. Because when Luke's coaching job in LA, maybe that first year it looked like there was some promise, but after that, they were just the same team. I know Lakers fans were complaining about Luke's X's and O's, his rotations.
His rotations.
Like,
the worst coach in the league when it comes to rotations, bro.
like dudes was talking about Dave Yeager's rotations, bro.
Luke is trash, bro. Even this season, his rotations is still. I knew as soon as we got him, I was like, "Yo, our rotations are gonna suck, bro." I just knew it was gonna be bad.
And
Now,
like,
go ahead, bro.
oh, and now I mean, it looks like we're stuck with him. So like, obviously, I had that first year. Like, I was extremely I had like extreme distaste for Luke Walton, especially with all that like extracurricular stuff happening off the court he had. Like, I was just like, this is a distraction. Our players are going to take a step back. I had a feeling our players would take a step back. I just didn't think it was going to be that bad.
Especially Buddy Hield, bro.
I don't, dog. So with Buddy Hield, what I noticed between the system last year and the system we've been running now, Buddy was more or less our version of Klay Thompson back then. All he was doing was running back, forth, catch, shoot, running, back, forth, layup, catch, shoot. But now it's like Luke came in, and I don't know if he just didn't know Buddy's game. He should, because he's been in the same division, Western Conference, we've been in for how many years since Buddy came in. Buddy is not a playmaker. Buddy is turnover prone. Jaeger knew that, and he solved it. Buddy had the best year of his career.
Simple. I agree, dude. And it's just like, I understood at first, like, okay, I get it. Buddy is nice. We gave him that extension. Like, I kind of understand to a certain point. All right, we got to try to see what this dude can do as far as being the primary ball handler, especially since Fox got injured so early. But you got to know after like the first 5-10 games that, bro, we this is not who Buddy Hield is. Like, he's not a playmaker. He's a scorer. Get him the ball off a catch and shoot. Stop having him dribble. Stop trying to have him be the playmaker on the team. Matisse Thybulle out on Philly. Every time we play Philly, he locks Buddy Hield up big time.
Big time.
Most people don't even know who Matisse Thybulle is, but that boy is a pest.
That boy is nice. I like him. If the Kings found a way to swoop him up,
he's nice, bro.
Yeah, he's nice.
It's just like, I don't know. We finally are starting to see the team get better, but as far as Buddy specifically, I don't think Buddy got nearly as better as we wanted him to be. Well, let me take that back because I hate using the word better because I see how hard these guys practice in
Yeah.
summer. I literally watched so many Rico Hines workouts last summer with Buddy and Bagley. I know those boys were working
Yeah,
last
they
year,
stay in the gym. Yeah,
but it's just like the system that the coach runs,
it's not.
it doesn't work with them. And that's what scares me leading into Bagley specifically. This dude has all the potential to be one of the best bigs in the league, especially with how the league is now. Like he has all the potential to be one of the top bigs. Like him and Fox can really be a dynamic duo.
Bro.
But it's just like, where does Bagley fit on this team? Because it seems like for whatever reason, we're better when he's not on the court this year and last year.
This year and last year. Like, and it's wild because near the end of the second half of the season, I thought Bagley was really making an impact, like coming off the bench. Like we weren't winning games without him being that scoring punch. So like, but I understand the numbers. All the numbers say that we're better with him off the court than we are on the court. And I've seen comments on blogs, people saying, I mean, sure, this dude's a walking double-double, but does that translate to wins? He doesn't really make his teammates better. Doesn't really play within the flow of the offense.
Oh, bro. That's the thing. It's just like, he's just like, all right, let me go ahead. And you see it all the time where he'll like force something up. And it's just like, Marvin, why are you doing that? Like, but at the same time, maybe he's just trying to do enough to take the spot from Bielitsa. But I don't know, bro.
I don't know, man. I feel like if Marvin tried to do less, like try not to press the issue, I feel like he would have been taking Bielitsa's spot. I feel like he's just trying too hard. He sees like, oh, I was the number 2 pick. I was saying I was going to be MVP in my rookie year. This coach isn't starting me straight off the bat. And to be honest with you, in hindsight, I think Jaeger made the right decision. Having Bagley coming off the bench, he was not ready to be a regular contributor.
And that's what I love about Jaeger because he did the same thing with Fox, bro. Fox wasn't starting the first half of the season. We had George Hill running the point at least till half the season, and then Fox came in and ran the team. And it's just like Bagley, he's still young. He's still only 20. So
yeah, I gotta remember that.
But it's kind of like people sleep on the guy that I'm about to talk about, but I really think this guy's going to be a future all-star. Jaren Jackson Jr., bro. I said in that draft, I really think he was the best big in that draft. And I feel like he's finally
he's creeping up there, bro.
Especially having John Morant on his team now. But I say that because he's not really like forcing the issue like that. He's still playing within the offense. Like, I don't know if it's just because Memphis, they don't really expect as much from their rookies as the Kings do. But what is the difference? Because I'm pretty sure if Bagley was in Memphis or if he was in another team, I feel like he would be doing better than he's doing on the Kings, bro. Honestly, I really do.
I think this is what the Kings' first mistake was. When they introduced once Bagley was drafted, they were literally, Sacramento media was touting him as the savior.
Right.
That already puts the pressure on that young buck, and it's like, you're already thinking about, okay, I have these high expectations for myself. Now, even the city is saying I'm going to be the savior. So I have this perception. I have to do this, this, and that. But I feel like if he had just if he trusted in the Kings, and now here's another thing. I don't really know what Jaeger and Bagley's relationship was. For the most part, it sounds like it wasn't good. I heard like his Bagley's dad was another person, like he butt heads with Jaeger. I don't know if Jaeger ever really paid attention to it, but Bagley's dad was talking mess
right
on the daily. So I don't know how much of it was Marvin or Marvin's dad, but I feel like if they just trusted what Jaeger was trying to do and actually just kind of just really just observe his progress from beginning to end.
Right.
If they just trusted in what Jaeger was trying to do, I feel like Bagley would be set up much better than he is today. And at the same time, yeah, Bagley didn't play that many games this season. He's been injured most. But from what I saw just in that first game, and maybe that's unfair, you tell me, but like I didn't see anything different. Nothing changed in his game.
I
And
agree.
there's a lot he needs to change.
A lot on both offense and defense, bro. But I don't know. I'm gonna hold out hope, bro. Like, cause in our heads, we thought our starting five was gonna be so nice this year, bro. We thought it was gonna be Fox, Buddy, who's gonna be at the three? Barnes, Bagley, and Dedmon. We thought Dedmon was gonna come in and just be that pick and pop guy at the fives, bring something to the table that Willie couldn't bring at all last year or any of the previous years. And it's just like, I don't know how Dedmon got trashed so fast, bro. And I'm not one to really like knock on players because he's in the NBA, but he's even doing it still back in Atlanta. I don't know why was it that rotation didn't work? Was it just not enough time because everyone kept getting injured? Was it too many egos? What do you think the issue was with that?
So it's not my original theory. It's something I've just gained as far as just like observing, reading what I see in the blogs. But when it comes to Dedmon, now I'll tell you straight up. Before, I didn't really watch his games in his first year in Atlanta with Trey and whatnot.
Yeah.
So just based on what I already knew about Dedmon, I was never really a fan. I kind of just thought, okay, he's in the Spurs system. Dude's kind of like, he's just a system player. He's not going to – I honestly thought he was trash. I'm not going to lie.
Well, I like that.
Like before Atlanta – but then obviously I heard like he did super good in Atlanta. Dude was cashing.
Yeah.
One of the best shooting bigs in the league. So this year, I think what had happened was, and I keep bringing up Jaeger, if Luke wasn't so focused on playing that half-court game, because I think Dedmon thrives on, what's that word? A frenzy, hecticness, like the fast pace. Running the half-court, that doesn't play to Dedmon's strengths, and you saw that. Dude was turning the ball over every single time, trying to make an inbound pass, or not an inbound pass, but like a pass to a cutter, pass off everything. And he didn't even look like he knew how to play a hoop.
Bro, it literally looked like Space Jam, bro. Like it legit looked like they just sucked away all his talents. Like I don't know what happened to him, but I've never seen an NBA player go from being a starting center to literally looking like he shouldn't get any minutes on any team in the league, bro.
He's not that old, right?
He's like 30, I think.
So he's not on the decline either, so it's not an age thing.
Yeah, not that fast at least. So it was, and he's still doing the same thing in Atlanta. Like Atlanta,
really? Oh,
he's not doing much better. So that brings me to this because we start off trash, 0-5, then we pick it up, and then we go on another losing streak where it felt like we just couldn't win for like a month and a half, 2 months. At that point, it feels like our season's over. Then all of a sudden, we start putting in work again, and we start slowly moving up in the race for the 8th spot. And then we did good. I think we won, 9 of our last 11 games before the suspension happened or something like that. We were
we were on a run.
But why is it like that? Why do you feel like we've been so up and down all season, bro?
I think more than anything, Luke hasn't been clear to his. In my theory, I think Luke hasn't been as clear to his own players on what their roles are going to be. And I hear this all the time. If a player doesn't know, like he doesn't know what's expected of him every single night, like their play is going to falter. Like they don't know. Like there are some dudes who have that mindset, like, oh, be ready, just stay ready. And they take advantage of their opportunity when they get it. Some dudes, when they don't have their way, they start sulking, they start complaining. Buddy Hield, for example. Dude was hooping once he got back to the bench.
Yep.
That's a Super Six man for real. But he wants to start. And we were winning too. It's not like we was losing and he was on the bench. We was winning when we put him on the bench.
Yeah.
Not because like, oh, we don't think you're better than Bogdanovic, or we think Bogdanovic is this much better than you. It's just that when you pair Bogdanovic is just better paired with these certain players for this certain offense, and we need you more on this kind of group of people for it to work. Um, so I mean, I just find it funny because at the beginning of the season, the media was really trying to make it seem like the whole team just wasn't feeling Jaeger like that. But now I'm just like, I see like once Luke was hired, they're trying to make it seem like, oh, all the players are super happy that he's here. Oh, everybody wants to play for Luke. Oh, players coach. You see Bagley and Fox on ESPN First Take talking about, oh, Luke's this, Luke's that. But then you don't see that. At least I'm not seeing that when I watch these games.
Right.
I see some misunderstandings. I see people that are not trusting each other. People are saying when Jaeger yelled at Buddy for shooting that near half court 3-pointer against the Warriors, that's when him and Jaeger were. And I mean, they probably were. I mean, Buddy was probably pissed. But it was probably over it the next day.
Right.
I think some people were making too much of that, and the media at the beginning of this season was like, Buddy Hield is being unleashed now because he has Luke Walton. I don't even know if Buddy really fucks with Luke.
It don't look like it, bro. It don't, and here's the thing is Buddy, I don't know. I'm starting to question like who does Buddy mess with in the organization now that he's actually gotten paid. It's like, okay, Buddy, was this who you were the whole time and you just weren't really showing it because you wanted to get paid? And now that you got paid, it's like, all right, well, I got my bread. Like I can act however I want to act. If y'all want to trade me, trade me. If you want me here, you need to start me. So it's kind of interesting from that dynamic. And just, I really hope the season comes back just so we can kind of see what this team can be to finish it out. If it doesn't come back, with the way they played towards the end, I can't necessarily call the season a disappointment, but it still feels like a disappointment at the same time.
I see what you mean. I feel like we all had expectations, and I feel like just fully so we had those expectations. We were in the race last year. We really should have made the playoffs last year. Definitely. So everybody was like, oh, we should be winning like at least. I mean, I guess I was in the mindset like this looks like a 50-win team if we project like if we grew like I thought we were gonna grow from last year.
No, I can see that though.
50-win team. So I feel like that's where the huge disappointment was. We didn't really get better at all.
I know, and that's the thing. I don't feel like we got better. I just felt like this was year one or even year zero, like how Jaeger referred to it when Boogie got traded. He was like, this isn't even year one anymore. This is year zero. I literally feel like year zero, bro. And year one.
New system, new coach. Like, it was obvious it was going to happen. I guess I just didn't think it was going to be this much of a change, dude. But I definitely want to switch gears because I know there's some other things in the NBA I want to talk about. I could talk about the Kings all day.
No doubt.
So I've been seeing this recently on ESPN, and I hate when these national media reporters do this. They're not necessarily reporting, but they're trying to speak things into existence that don't make any kind of sense. So I don't know if you've been seeing this, bro, but the last couple of days I've been seeing, should Bradley Beal demand a trade to the Nets?
I saw that.
I'm like, it's not even demand a trade. Specifically, demand a trade to the Nets. And I'm just like, how? I'm a Wizards GM. How, Sway? Like, I'm not just going to trade him for bits and pieces. Bradley Beal's averaging how much? Like,
bro's averaging close to 30, bro. Dude is hooping here.
He's hooping. That's my star. So I'm expecting a star return. Like, I'm seeing what OKC got for PG-13. I'm seeing what LA got for what New Orleans got for AD.
Right.
Bro, Bradley Beal's one of the better guards in the league, top five shooting guards. Like,
bro might be top 3, dude. That boy
might be top 3. He hooping. Like, I didn't think it was gonna happen, but like, not having John Wall healthy, you've really seen Beal blossom.
Yes, bro.
That dude is cold. He cold.
That's been one of my favorite players since I've been watching him since he was back in St. Louis hooping. So I've been a fan of his since I was in I'd say probably my senior year of high school because I just started watching him right when it was still AAU. This is back when AAU was always on ESPN. Something Elite. Dang, I forget the name of his AAU team he was on, but I was on Bradley Beal heavy. And then when he went to Florida, was on him heavy. When he went to the Wizards, I was like, yo, this dude's gonna be nice. And here's the issue, and this is why I hate ESPN, is because they always do stuff like this, and I'm seeing it with ESPN way more than Fox, who does.
Oh.
They always just create the randomest stories, bro, and it's just like, where did this come from? Does this team even have salary to be able to get this guy on their team in the first place? How are they going to do that? Who does Brooklyn even have on their roster, like you said, to send to them, to Washington?
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
you don't have anything, bro.
You don't really have anything. Like,
I don't know.
I don't know. Like, so, like, I mean, I'm a huge fan of Karis LeVert, but like, Karis LeVert for Valley, nah, you gotta give me more than that, bruh.
I need way more than that. I need you to milk everything, bro.
Everything.
I need your best young player.
I'm draining your bench, bro.
Yes, I need everything, bro. So,
everything.
I don't think that's gonna work. I will say, I'm going to talk about Washington and Brooklyn for a second. I will say Washington's screwed, bro. And they're screwed for a long time because Wall and Beal, those contracts, you got to get one of them out, bro. If you want to actually win in Washington, you have to. I actually looked at their roster maybe 2 weeks ago. It's literally those two players and a bunch of minimum contracts on the team, bro. Like, they couldn't afford to pay Otto Porter. They had to trade him. Then they traded Kelly Oubre the same season. I was like, okay.
Oh, random. I thought they chose between one. Like,
yeah, and like they used to have more something. Like, the Wizards starting five before they paid these guys used to be so dope, bro. They had Wall, they had Beal, they had Porter, they had Morris, they had Gortat. Now, their bench was trash, but their starting five, they had one of the best.
Starting five was solid.
And it's just like to see them go from being at least a contender somewhat in the East to just being a bottom feeder now with having well, I can't really call John a superstar at this point. We got to see what he comes back at next year. But having one of the best guards in the league who should have made the All-Star team, he is an All-Star. It's just like, if I'm Washington, where are we going, bro? What is our direction? Like,
I mean, it's like they draft Rui Hachimura out of Japan, and it's like, I don't see there still isn't like a clear, I see what you mean. There's not like a clear plan forward. Like, what's the plan? Like, I feel like the Wizards, if they had to choose between Wall and Beal, they'd obviously choose Beal, but they can't trade that John Wall contract. It's also the point. It's also that Chris Paul level of like outrageousness, but at the same time, Chris is playing. John
at least made the All-Star team, bro. It's
Chris Paul.
You can't even knock Chris Paul anymore because he's the All-Star team and OKC is right there in the playoff race.
Right.
You can't knock him, bro.
Right. You can't.
I don't know what Washington's gonna do. On Brooklyn's side, I mean, when you have KD and Kyrie coming back, if they come back, which I don't know, bro. I feel like that would be interesting if they did, but at the same time, I'm just like, does it really make sense for them to come back at this point? Because who is Brooklyn? The 7th seed right now, right?
They're the 7th seed, yeah.
So would they play Toronto right now, or who would their first matchup be?
I think it's Toronto or Boston.
Boston would be actually with KD and Kyrie, they might actually be able to take Boston. I'm not going to cap. Let me check real quick. Conference standings.
Might be Toronto. I feel like Toronto and Boston have been switched.
Number 2. So I don't feel like they can beat Toronto even with a healthy KD and Kyrie, just because it's just like these guys literally just came back. They don't really have the proper – at least I feel like they don't have the proper role players that they need. I feel like signing DeAndre Jordan, I get it. You had to do that because you had KD and Kyrie coming, but that boy is old. He does not really fit with that team like that. Have Jared Allen start because he can run the floor. He can block shots. Basically, I like Taurean Prince, but obviously I know he's not like a long-term fit probably with Brooklyn, but I like Taurean Prince.
I like Taurean Prince, yeah.
Karis LeVert, it's going to be interesting to see when KD and Kyrie come back, how does he take
Fit
that
in.
back? Because you look at Kuzma and how he struggled, bro. I could see LeVert kind of going through the same thing where it's like, wait, before I was able to get 50. Like, I can shoot if I want to.
Well, before, what was it? Was it last season? Last season they had D'Lo, right?
Yeah.
So before D'Lo had his breakout, like when everyone was healthy, they was running that offense through LeVert, and he was having a career year. And then he had that injury.
Yep.
That kind of, I mean, he didn't come back to like near that. I mean,
to the playoffs.
To the playoffs. He wasn't the same. So like, yeah, I wouldn't even know how that would work as far as him and do you bring him off the bench, put Harris at the shooting guard, then LeVert can.
I feel like that would be a good move, but then it's like, okay, so I got LeVert coming off the bench, and I got Dinwiddie coming off the bench too.
Yeah, it's unless they want to be like take turn.
They literally
they could.
Like
they would have to.
So
I don't
know. To answer your question, I feel like Brooklyn, honestly, at this point, no, don't bring back KD and Kyrie. I feel like there's no point. Plus, you don't want to risk them getting injured again. I say this season is a wash. It is what it is. Stay home, stay healthy, figure out who y'all next coach is going to be, figure out how you can retool the roster, and kind of go from there.
But do you really think they need to retool the roster? So, like, here's my opinion. So when the team was led by D'Lo, all they really changed was Kyrie and D'Lo. Now you add KD to that. Now it's like this is the same team without those two guys that made the 7th seed last year. So I'm just thinking you add two. I mean, you're pretty much adding two superstars, pretty much. What else do you need?
But here's the thing, bro. Kyrie needs to be on a team with scrubs so he can really get his. We've all seen, bro. It's
no, you make a point
that he can't, which is so weird because Kyrie is so good, but it's just like he cannot be a point guard on a championship level team. He, for one, has to be the two. Your point guard has to be just someone who can distribute the ball and just shoot the ball. Because Kyrie, he's still going to dribble. It's going to be interesting to see because KD's not LeBron, bro. LeBron, he's going to run the team the way he needs to. KD can play make. I'm not even going to
He can play make. He's gotten better.
And him playing with Russ, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt just because, like, if you could play with Russ running point, you could play with Kyrie running the point. But it's more so Kyrie-based. Russ, we've at least seen Russ can win on his own, bro. Like, that boy single-handedly has taken OKC to the playoffs before they had PG and Melo.
Yeah.
So, but Kyrie's track record, he has never shown me anything that he can lead a team by himself, bro. Like, any team he goes to, they typically become worse when he's on the team, bro.
They do. He's a true number. I don't want to be disrespectful when I say number two. It is. He's either a number two option or a one. No, he's a number two option. I won't even call him a 1B at this point.
He has to be the number two option, and don't get me wrong, he would be the best number two option in the world, just like Paul George was, and still is. But he can't be the number one, bro. If you want to win a championship, Kyrie is too much in his own head, in his own ego. I'm going to dribble the ball all day, and then I'm going to pass it to you if I don't have the shot. Like, I don't know. It's like his talent kind of messes up how good his actual team can be because him individually is just –
it's just too good. Like, I love me Kyrie. I'm a huge fan of Kyrie's game. But at the same time, I'm seeing, like, is it really translating to wins? Now it's like, fuck. Is Kyrie even – I mean, Kyrie's good. Like, we ain't saying he ain't nice. He's good. This dude is –
Kyrie is still top 5 point guard.
Showtime.
When it comes to winning,
like, it comes to winning, it's wild. It's wild.
Hold that thought, bro. I'm going to be right back.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll be drinking so much water, bro.
I'm trying to get on that, bro. I'm trying to get on that. I just grabbed it. My mom got me this like the other day.
Yep.
It's a little bigger than the one I had. She was like 2 a day, and I'm like, shit.
Bro, you got
I have to.
Like, but when I tell you you're gonna be going to the bathroom like crazy, bro, all we do in my house is go to the bathroom every 5 minutes, dog.
That should be coming out hella clear, huh?
Stupid clear, bro. Stupid clear. But yo, back to Kyrie, dog. So yeah, I just feel like Kyrie, he's always gonna be one of those guys. I don't want to give him the Allen Iverson treatment because AI at least took his team to the finals by himself. But I feel like he's just a numbers guy at this point, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, dude's won his ring. I mean, I'm not gonna say he doesn't care about winning. Yeah, Kyrie's just it's mind-boggling at times because you would think having better players around you would just I mean, I don't know, dude.
No.
Because it's like Jordan, like I think it's a mindset, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just the mindset of knowing, like, hey, I need to kind of dial it back a little bit if I want to win, if I want to be a true leader. I want to let these guys know that I believe in their talent. Like, yo, Karras, I'm passing you this ball the last 5 seconds. I know I want to shoot this shit, but you've been hot. You got the hot hand. I'm going to trust you with that shot.
Right.
And Bron, like, you compare, I mean, he's nowhere near the leadership to LeBron, but you see LeBron, like, he'll easily give you the last shot of the game. He'll always go for the best shot opportunity possible.
Yeah.
He's not going to just jack something up just to jack it up. So I think I don't know, Kyrie might be already set in his ways. Dude's like, I mean, he's like 28, 27. Yeah. So, like, I feel like at this point, yeah, he's probably just a numbers guy. Probably just a numbers guy.
I don't think so, bro.
It sucks, but
yeah, like we say all this and like we not downplaying Kyrie at all. Like
not at all.
Everything on the court. It's just when it comes to winning, he's kind of far down on the list when it comes to guys that I'm gonna pick. Like there's guys with less talent at point guard that I'm gonna pick before I pick Kyrie, just because I know how he is, bro.
Exactly.
But yeah, so we'll kind of transition on that. I mean, how do you feel about the East in general? Do you feel like Milwaukee is pretty much just going to run over everybody? Do you think Toronto still has a chance? Like, who do you got in the East?
The most surprising team I've seen in the East, and a special shout out to the Pacers. They've just been solid. They're always solid. They're always a number 4 or 5 seed. Nobody pays attention. Nobody gives them kudos. Nate McMillan's been doing it. He's been coaching his damn ass off. Victor Oladipo. They switched. They lost Bogdanovich. They got T.J. Warren. Pretty much business as usual.
He's underrated, bro.
Like,
he's a bucket.
Yeah, T.J. Warren. He's a walking bucket. So they pretty much switched a walking bucket with another walking bucket.
Right.
And then the Malcolm Brogdon pickup.
That was huge.
If Malcolm Brogdon was still on the Bucks, I would say the Bucks would easily run through the East.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that just shows how much I believe more in Malcolm Brogdon than I do in Eric Bledsoe, which is crazy because years ago I would have been all on the Bledsoe train. But that's not here. But yeah, so I would say the most surprising team I've seen so far in the East is Toronto. I wrote them off, even though they really just lost one dude.
But like, that one dude is arguably the best player in the league, bro. Like that's a huge piece to lose.
That is a huge piece to lose. I guess I just wasn't expecting
ICP.
Yeah, I didn't see him having this much of a jump.
I expected him to obviously get better and probably make an all-star team, but I didn't think he was going to be this good. And Spicy P is another dude that still doesn't really get the recognition that he should. Obviously, yeah, people are saying he should be up there to win Most Improved again. But I just feel like as far as like the national, like just hoopers, well, maybe not hoopers because I know hoopers are watching, but like just casuals, that boy doesn't get enough respect as he should, bro, because he's –
And it's because he's in Toronto.
Definitely.
It's because he's in Toronto.
Definitely.
It don't matter. Like, I haven't seen the media talk favorably about a Toronto basketball player since VC, to be honest with you. Right. Even when Chris Bosh was doing his thing back then,
nobody cared.
I'm giving the credit. And that boy was hooping in Toronto. I think some people forget. They think about his Heat days and like, oh, third option, who
Mm-hmm.
doesn't really do much, but the dude was the man in Toronto.
It was nice, bro. So, do you think do you think Toronto can beat Milwaukee then in a seven game series, or you think it's Giannis's time? He's just at that point. He's lost so many times. Like he's gotten the three ball a little bit better now. How you feel
I
about
think I think this is Giannis's year to make the NBA Finals, bro. That dude looks like he's on a mission. He always plays with intensity, and I mean, I don't know, just this year, just to be that consistent after coming off of an MVP season, you got better.
that? Right.
Like, how do you get better after the stats
MVP.
he was putting up?
Like
Like, he was averaging what?
Steph is the only other person that I'm like, this dude got better from his last season winning MVP. Like that doesn't happen, bro.
That don't happen, bro. I'm trying to look up Giannis's stats right now. Just averaging near let's see, Tentacumpo. Dude's averaging practically 30, 13, and 6. How? How, bro? It's like we saw what you did last year, and it's like I feel like players they try to adjust, but it's like you adjust, you still can't stop them. And yeah, like you said, he's shooting three now, and at a much more respectable clip too. So it's like, yeah, man, I don't see anybody getting in Giannis's way.
And that's what pisses me off because that's supposed to be Philly, bro. Philly was supposed to be the squad to go ahead and jump on the Bucks. But Philly is a whole. You want to talk about disappointment? Like Philly is just they got to trade. As far as I'm concerned, bro, for Philly to really reach the peak of what their players can be, you got to either trade Joel or trade Ben, bro. That's the only way you're going to get the most out of that team. If you can't get there with Jimmy on the squad, and I get it, they only lost because Kawhi hit the lucky shot at the end. But it's just like, I just feel like that was Philly's window, and they weren't nearly as good this year as last year.
No, at all. At all. It was a mistake not to try to like I forget I don't know if they said what had happened, but y'all should have paid Jimmy, bro. I like Tobias Harris too. I feel like
I think they were trying to trade. I think they were trying to pay Jimmy. I watched a podcast that Jimmy did. I think it might have been on JJ Redick's podcast.
Yeah, okay.
He said that I think they wanted to pay him the max because they came out and said they were going to give him and Tobias both the max. But I know he got into it with Brett Brown. I know he wasn't really happy with the fact that the ball was going through Ben Simmons the whole time, and then all of a sudden the playoffs came and they just switched it and went to Jimmy Butler just randomly being point guard basically for the team. So I know he wasn't really happy with like how Brett Brown was running the team, some of the things going on in the locker room and the organization. I think he said like there was no way that he was coming back like regardless.
I see. It was more of like a culture thing.
Exactly.
He just wasn't fucking with it. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, man, Philly's been a huge, and I mean, I've heard those opinions as far as like separating Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, and it's hard. I can see why it'd be hard for a front office to do that because it's like they'll probably not have two players of this stature in their careers. Young too, they're both still young, playing at this level together. You may not get a pairing like that again, but I can also see where it's like, you know what it is, bro? I have thought about this. If Ben Simmons played the power forward, I don't think there'd be much of an issue.
I agree.
I think the issue is because since Ben is playing point guard, he's playing a point guard, but he's not on the floor, on the court. He's not in point guard areas. He's always in the dunker's position.
Yeah.
And it's like, yikes, that's not it. And your star player, I mean, I consider Joel Embiid the face of their franchise. Like his money is in the post, so you're already working against his strengths.
Yeah.
If he doesn't have like a point guard out there that can shoot, willing to shoot. So yeah, I've always been kind of like on the fence as far as like Ben. Even when Ben started in the league and they said he's gonna run point guard, I was like, okay. I mean, I guess. I don't know if that'd be the best path to success for the team, but
I agree. I think at that time we didn't know that he was going to be that good because Ben came out and he was killing it. I don't think we knew Ben was truly going to be that good, and I think Joel was good, but he already had issues with his injuries, so like we didn't really know how good Joel could be either. So it's like they both kind of started blossoming. Like the timeline was just wrong basically with everything. I think that's really the main thing that messed Philly up. Because in a perfect world, yeah, you're right, bro. They want to have Joel at the 5, Ben at the 4, and Markel at point, bro. That in a perfect world, that's how things would have ended up. But that timeline was just it was terrible, bro. And you look at the team, the fact that nobody can shoot, like they have probably the worst spacing in the league, I would assume. You guys can let me know who would probably be worse space wise than Philly is. But you have a whole starting 5 of people, what, 6'4"? I think Josh Richardson is like 6'4" or 6'5", and the rest of the players are all like 6'6", 6'7", and up. Like, what do you expect, bro? So I don't know. I don't really know what to get out of Philly. I guess we'll go ahead and leave it with this before we jump off. So you have Milwaukee coming out the East. Who do you have coming out of the West?
I've been like, before this whole COVID thing, this is the suspension of the season had occurred. I had my money on the Clippers.
Okay.
I felt like as the season went on, Kawhi was just going to play the rest of the regular season games. They weren't even going to do the load management thing anymore. Have PG and Kawhi play more games together just to prep for the playoffs. I just feel like they have just the right balance of players that have playoff experience. Their bench, their two-man, they have the two-man punch in the starting unit, two-man punch in the bench. Like, Patrick Bev is a dog on defense. He'll play defense the whole game, won't even care if he gets a jump shot. Like, and I mean, Zubac, I feel like Zubac could be better if there was more of a offense featured for him. He's kind of just there.
He would be way better if they were a younger team, bro. If they weren't in title contending mode, Zubac would be way better. So you like – because the only thing I feel about LA, their chemistry has gotten much better as of late, but I'm still not really sold on Paul George this season. He still hasn't really looked quite like himself, and I'm not really sold on Morris. It looks like they're trying to like force too many new players on. Like PG is come back. Morris, I don't really like the fit, and then they picked up Reggie Jackson as well.
That was kind of random to me.
Yeah,
that was pretty random to me. Like, because who was backing up? Because after Beverly, you had Lou Will running the point, right?
Yeah, Lou Will was at the 1 or at the 2, or they had like some random person. Like I know Jerome Robinson, I think his name is, would sometimes run the point. Like
what's his name? Landry Shamet.
Shamet was, but I know Shamet works better when he's off the ball as well.
Yeah, he does.
So, I don't know. I kind of think it was probably mostly Lou Will. I mean, obviously Lou Will is the primary ball handler off the bench anyways. But I couldn't really tell you if it wasn't Lou Will, if Lou Will was slided to play the 2. I don't remember off the top of my head who the 1 was.
I mean, I think I can't remember. I honestly can't. But I feel like.
So you think they more than the Lakers do? Like, why do you give them the edge over the Lakers?
The reason I give them now I understand LA has a game on the Clippers. I mean, the Lakers have a game on the Clippers. Clippers also have a game on the Lakers. So I think the season series is 1-1, or is it?
I think it might be 2-1, bro. I think Clippers are up 2-1.
Clippers are up 2-1. I think that was more of my that's kind of my base, like why I believe the Clippers are more prepared. I just feel like Kawhi's coming off an NBA Finals MVP. I understand PG-13's kind of been up and down since he came back. I don't know. I like their pieces, how they fit. They have they have a championship coach in Doc Rivers. Frank Vogel, I liked what he did with the Pacers back in the day. But I don't know. Maybe it's just a gut feeling I have right now. But that was before COVID-19.
Right.
I have a hot take who I think might come out the West now, and it's completely based off the randomness and the uncertainty of this COVID. Because I feel like because once the season resumes, there might be some weird outcomes coming out of the playoffs, just because the rhythm was disrupted.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I don't know if you want me to say this hot take now. I don't know if you want to give your picks for it.
Say it now, bro.
Yeah, bro. So who's the 4 and 5 seed right now? Hold on.
I keep forgetting because I feel like Houston might be number 6. OKC, I don't know if they were that high.
Where are the standings? Okay, here. Okay. Yeah, 4 or 5 seeds are Utah and OKC. Who's the 3rd seed?
Denver, I think.
Denver. I don't know why, but for some reason, I can see just based on like maybe players not being in rhythm or just pretty much like there's gonna be some sloppy play in the beginning of once this resumes because people just been off. But I could see somehow, some way, whether that's Utah, OKC. My pick was OKC. Somehow they have no business making the NBA Finals, but just cause no business making that. But just based on randomness.
I can see that as far as randomness goes, but nah, I can't. If I had to just go randomness, because I have the Lakers coming out of the West, but if I have to go just straight randomness, I would probably give the edge to Houston, just because there's no other team who's playing the way Houston is playing. Like when you look at it and you have PJ Tucker as your starting 5, like you literally have a team that's just snipers spread out everywhere, bro. And the way Russ was playing, like that's the last 2 months of the season since January, bro looked like OKC Russ all over again. So if I had to pick as far as like just a random wild card, I'd go Houston. But if I just go off purely who I'm thinking LA, just because the Lakers. I'm thinking just because I feel like LeBron is just at a point where he realizes it's coming close to the end, bro. Like if he's not doing this, and that's why he wants the season to come back so bad. Is because he knows
this is probably his best chance.
Yeah, this is his best shot. Like they're not getting. We don't know what can happen, bro. I'll just say that. And I like LA. I like the play. I like the pieces they have. I feel like all their bigs all kind of have their role and play well. I love how they've been able to reinvent Dwight Howard, and he's had a pretty solid season. I like obviously AD is killing it this year. Braun is killing it this year. Danny Green is doing typical Danny Green stuff. And then Avery Bradley, he's finally coming back from his injury, but you just want him more so for defense more than anything. I just like the roster and the depth that they have. It's kind of a toss-up, so I see why people are saying the Clippers as well. It's kind of one of those things where it's just like until they meet or if they meet, it's just like it could go either way, bro. It's really just preference. What do you look for? Why do you feel like that team can win?
Yeah.
I'm going to say the Lakers out west, out east. I'm going to probably say as much as I love Milwaukee, I feel like there's just something about them that I can't trust. And I don't know. I feel like you might be right, and this might be Giannis's breakthrough, and who knows, Giannis might run through the East for like 4 or 5 years in a row. But I'm going to go ahead and say, as crazy as this is, I might have to go Boston, bro.
Talk to me.
I might have to go to Boston just because I feel like, for one, nobody's talked about Boston all year. But when you look at what Kemba has done this season, he's averaging 20 points. He's still giving you like 5-6 assists. But we know how clutch he is. You look at Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown should have been an all-star this year. Man is an amazing player. You look at Jason Tatum just continuing to evolve, and you look at Gordon Hayward three pretty well and just actually like looking like an NBA player all over again. I like Daniel Tice because he can stretch the floor as well. He can shoot the jumper a little bit. And I just look at Boston and I just look at Milwaukee and I'm just like, I can't trust Giannis, bro. I feel like there's a team that's just going to outsmart. I don't know if it's just going to outsmart Coach Budenholzer. I don't know if it's just Giannis is going to go cold or Bledsoe is going to go cold or Middleton isn't going to show up. I just don't trust those boys in Milwaukee. So I can see maybe in a semifinals matchup, Milwaukee losing, and then I can see either like a Toronto and Boston matchup, or maybe Philly randomly comes together and we have a Boston Philly matchup. I can just see, I feel like one of those teams, those higher, or I guess I should say, is it higher seed or lower seed? Was the one seed considered a high seed or a low seed?
One seed, that's a high seed, yeah.
Okay, so I can see one of the higher seeds like getting knocked off pretty early in competition, bro. I feel like the East, someone's gonna mess up, bro.
Someone's gonna mess up. I definitely, now you're bringing up your points about Milwaukee. If they had like a solid number 2, like you could just trust, like just steps his game up in the playoffs. I like Middleton, but what I've noticed in these past like couple years when Milwaukee's been in the playoffs, he's kind of hit or miss in those games. He either goes off or he's not doing nothing. And I think I remember bringing up this idea to you like way back when. I was like, man, if Milwaukee somehow had Paul George instead of Chris Middleton, totally different. So it's like, yeah, it really depends. Giannis is going to bring his A game, but when he goes cold, who steps up?
Right.
They haven't been able to figure that out yet, unfortunately. So
that's what I'm scared of, but we're going to wrap it up there, bro. It was a pleasure bringing you on. We definitely going to go ahead and do this more often, dog.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Appreciate it. Appreciate the invite, man.
The fans know, where can they find you at? What's your Instagram, bro?
Oh, shoot. Y'all can find me on at NijaMadeLight _, or not underscore. Let me spell it out for you. It's NAIJAMADE _LITE. NijaMadeLight.
Yeah, so y'all go ahead and follow Uche on the gram. We definitely going to bring Uche back on moving forward so we can go ahead and get this hoop talk going. But thank you so much for joining on, bro.
And yeah, man, first time, enjoyed it. Thanks for the invite, bro.
All love, bro. I appreciate you making it happen. But I'm going to talk to you soon. Everybody, I'll come back with another video tomorrow. We're going to keep this consistency going. Until then, we out. Peace.